It's 5 o'clock. I'm going to call to order tonight's meeting of the Gallatin Municipal Planning Commission. And we'll start with the invocation, the Pledge of Allegiance. And Albert, if you'd bless our meeting, and Mike, if you'd do the Pledge of Allegiance.
As we come before your presence, we ask that you watch over this meeting. You lead and guide us, that we do those things that you find pleasing for the betterment of our community. Bless our leaders and bless those others in attendance. Bless our community in a mighty way. We ask it all in your Son, Jesus' name, for his sake. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Ariane, would you please call the roll?
Sir. Chair Harris.
Here.
Vice Chair Morrell.
Here.
Mr. Purrier. Mayor Brown.
Present.
Councilman Pham.
Here.
Mr. Strother.
Present.
Mr. Thompson.
here.
You have a quorum.
All right, thank you, ma'am. And before we move on into the beginning of the agenda, I'm just going to announce several items were deferred on tonight's agenda. So, which would be item 2, which is Meadow Glen at Fairway Farms, Phase 3. Item 3, Meadow Glen at Fairway Farms, Phase 4A. Item 6, Savannah Marketplace, Phase 2. And item 7, Savannah Marketplace, Phase 2, which did have a public comment. So if you're here for one of those items this evening, just want to let you know they have been deferred and will not be discussed tonight. Next on the agenda, we have minutes from the May meeting. Hold on, please. Get the correction since the secretary is not here. So I'll present the meetings. We have May 19th, June the 17th, and minutes from June the 23rd. And I'll move.
Motion we accept.
All right, Albert made a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Second by CJ. Any requests for corrections, modifications? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote approving the minutes from those 3 meetings. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. Passes unanimously. Next item on the agenda is public comment on agenda-related items. So if you have comments on anything on tonight's agenda, this is your time to come and speak. I ask that you state your name and address for the record and limit comments to 5 minutes. And with that, public comment is now open.
Good evening. I'm Rosemary Bates. Economic Development. What button am I pushing? This one?
Push it hard.
Oh. Rosemary Bates, Economic Development Agency, right across the hall, 132 West Main Street, but I also live in Gallatin, 395 Devon Chase Hill. So I am here to speak in favor of items 9 and 10. 9 is Project Lasso, and there are probably going to be a couple of items that you'll discuss, and I'm hoping that you will work in favor of Project Lasso to resolve those. I do have some pictures to go along with one of those. If it comes to that point, I can share it at that time. And then the number 10, the Southwater Manor addition. I know y'all have seen the preliminary plans. It's a truly unique and innovative project for that area of town, and actually for Gallatin, period. It hasn't been done in Gallatin yet. So very excited about both of those and hope we can move them along. And thank you very much for your consideration.
Ma'am. Anyone else wishing to speak under public comment on agenda-related items? All right, seeing no one indicating they wish to speak, we're going to close public comment on the agenda-related items, and we'll move on to the consent agenda. Is there any member of the commission or staff that wishes to remove any items from the consent agenda? All right, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
All right, got a motion, CJ, second by Mr. Fan, for approval of consent agenda as submitted. All those in favor of approval say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. All right, consent agenda will pass unanimously. That will move us to item 8 on the agenda, which is Resolution 2025-089, Atlas Townhomes Convenience Store with Gas Pumps, amended preliminary master development plan. And this item will also include an individual public comment.
Good evening, Commissioners. Charlie Peary, Staff Planner. As you have said, there is a public comment for this item. The owner and applicant is requesting approval and amendment to the Atlas Townhomes / Long Hollow Pike Preliminary Master Development Plan and Final Master Development Plan for the Atlas Townhomes Convenience Store located on a 1.50 acre lot. Should be this top corner right here. Zoned as MU, mixed use, located east of Highway 109 and south of Long Hollow Pike. Convenience sales and service is a conditional use in the mixed-use zoning district, which can be approved by the Planning Commission via a master plan. So that's why we are here. The applicant has successfully met all the requirements for make this conditional use, including the pitched canopy condition shown here. The architecture for this building is primarily 70% brick and stone, or about 100% brick and stone, so that more than meets the requirements for this building. Lastly, staff recommends that this is to be considered a minor amendment because it does not significantly increase the density to this project or significantly change any uses. This is the previous plan that was approved with that 1.5 acre commercial out parcel, and staff recommends approval of Resolution 2025-089 with 12 conditions. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Charlie. Before we hear from the applicant, I will open the public comment on this item. So if there's anyone wishing to speak specifically on this item, this is your time to come forward. Public comment is now open. Seeing no one indicating they wish to speak, we'll close the public comment and we'll hear from the applicant.
Drew Ferguson, Greenwood Design. We agree to all staff comments, here to answer any questions.
Any questions for Drew? I mean,
Don't believe so.
yeah, it seems like a pretty good,
I make a motion we adopt it as a minor amendment.
all right, we got a
I'll second that.
motion that it be a minor amendment from Albert, seconded by Mr. Thompson. Any discussion on the major or minor? Sitting on a call for that vote. All in favor of being a minor amendment, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. All right, so it'll be a minor amendment, and we can move on to the main motion. I don't have any concerns about this going there. So I'll make a motion to approve the staff's 12 conditions of approval.
Second.
Okay, so a motion, a second by CJ. Any discussion, concerns, questions? All right, so now I'll call for the vote. All those in favor of approval with staff's conditions, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. All right, and that will also pass unanimously. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Item 9, Resolution 2025-091, Project Lasso Roy, a site plan.
Commissioners, Kimberly Atlee, staff planner. Yes, the owner applicant requesting a site plan approval for project Lasso-Roy. It's located north of Steam Plant Road, west of the Airport Road, and zoned IG, which is Industrial General. As you can see all around it. It's approximately 13.83 acres. They are proposing a 96,007 square foot building and a 8,750 three-sided shed. They also are proposing a 6-foot vinyl coated chain link fence on the sides and the rear. This is for security purposes. Privacy slats meet the screening requirement. They are requesting a barbed wire, which is not a part of the, is not a part of our current regulations, not permitted. But we'll come back to that. They are doing the landscaping up the front of the road, which meets the requirements. And this is the elevations. It's a 30-foot line with a pitch. It's comprised of primarily metal siding. It does meet the elevations. There's the office. It's 4,873 square feet. It does meet the 50% brick and stone. And there's the three-sided. And that meets the lot coverage, all the total acreage. Staff met with the applicant earlier today to discuss a couple of items that they had some concerns with in number 3 and number 4, the barbed wire, which is not permitted at this point. Staff recommends that this would be taken to the BZA because it would be a variance to the ordinance. And then number 4 would be the exterior storage, the height of that, and the staff had talked about that. It's going to be behind the building. The building is 30 foot high, so staff doesn't have an issue with that, but they wanted to bring this up as well. So now the new ordinance, we did talk about that. The new ordinance that we're working on right now, this could be addressed at this point too. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Do you have a representative for the applicant?
Good evening, Brad Snyder with CSDG, representing the applicant and owner. Yeah, I would just like to kind of discuss number 3 and number 4. The barbed wire, we would like to, if possible, remove that condition for security reasons. They would like to keep that. It's an industrial site. There are some other industrial sites around there existing with barbed wire within a mile or so radius, I would say. And we feel, this is not a road that is well traveled with the general public. Dead ends to the north. There's no residential surrounding it. So we think, if you're going to be driving down that way, you're more than likely going to that business or those businesses down that road. And then number 4 is more just a clarity. We would like a little bit more clarification on that condition. What we had talked about was maybe revising that language to state exterior storage to be screened from public view with a 6-foot fence with flats shown on the site plan. Stored materials may be stored up to 20 feet high, provided no stored materials be stacked above the screen fencing within 250 feet of the public right-of-way. That 250 feet is basically from the right-of-way to midpoint of the building. We feel that is far enough back that they could start stacking then in the rear. I would just like to then open the floor now to you all.
I guess I had a question about the barbed wire. I didn't realize that wasn't allowed in the industrial zoning. So I think the Resource Authority is just up from this property, and it's got barbed wire on it. The Mid-South Steel's barbed wire fenced around it. So I guess question for staff, is this just something that's just lacking in our current zoning ordinance?
It's in the code, no barbed wire or electric fencing
Right.
is permitted. It's permitted in agriculture, and it's
Okay.
permitted for public institutions. There is barbed wire in industrial zoning. There's definitely barbed wire that exists out there. But if you go by the letter of the code, it doesn't exempt industrial formally.
Gotcha.
And I don't remember when it was added. So since it's it's a deviation from our fence permit or fence code, and this is a site plan, we believe that Board of Zoning Appeals would have to formally look at that. And we do think for security purposes, it's probably a realistic ask.
Yeah, I wouldn't think there'd be a problem with it, John.
Just a question for clarification. Are we talking about a 100% barbed wire fence, or are we talking about a chain link fence with barbed wire on the top?
Chain link with barbed wire on top. Yep.
Yeah, it would seem to me that no barbed wire would be just probably referencing to traditional barbed wire fence, where we're talking about, this is more of a
Yeah.
security fence applications. I wouldn't view those to be the same thing.
So, the condition, though, just asks for them to remove the barbed wire. It doesn't ask them to go to the BZA for a variance.
We would say it'd probably be best to reword that condition however you all see fit.
Okay.
But that's our recommendation, and how to advise you.
How long is the process of going to BZA to get that variance? If they go get that, does it have to come back to us, or is that?
It does not have to come back to you. No. Yeah, the next meeting's August 28th. We could get that on that. We have plenty of time to advertise.
I do have a question for our Economic Development Director. I'll make a motion to suspend the rules so we can.
Second?
Yeah.
Get a second. All those in favor of suspending rules, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Okay, we'll hear from Rosemary for a second.
I appreciate it. There is a bit of a time concern with Project Lasso, where they are in their process. They were surprised that this was in there, that they couldn't do anything for security purposes. I have examples of where it has happened in the current zoning ordinance and also recently. You have fencing with barbed wire on it. In fact, someone has replaced their barbed wire with concertina wire, so we'll have to address that in the future zoning ordinance too. I think if you're uncomfortable removing that condition completely, they would ask that you support their request for moving it in your language of approval or replacing that condition with whatever language you need to say that you support it and you encourage the Board of Zoning Appeals to allow them to put in the barbed wire. Ideally, they want that sentence removed so they can continue in their financing, closure, and everything to go to construction. But that is your call to make. And then the second one, if you're willing to consider the language they're recommending, we would appreciate that too. Because we can show you examples where there is outdoor storage in industrial areas that's not screened at all, much less above the 6-foot fence, so.
Yeah, and I'd like to
This area,
emphasize. with
this area,
Oh,
go
sorry,
ahead, go ahead.
I just want to emphasize with the screening, it's from the public view, so we're mostly concerned about the right-of-way and just making sure that if they do have things stacked high, it's behind the building or away from the fence line. That's all that really means.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, Rosemary, do you have anything else to add? Or with that, I'll make a motion to reinstate the rules.
Second.
Motion second to reinstate. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. All right, the rules are reinstated. Okay.
My question was going to be, the outdoor storage is specifically occurring all the way at the back of the site, which is like 16 feet lower than the road. Is that pretty accurate?
Something like
Close?
that, yeah.
It's pretty low, okay.
I don't have a problem with the way the applicant suggested changing the wording of that. So does anybody, I guess, just test that, anybody have a problem with that type of wording? I think it clarifies it for everyone.
Are you referring to Rosemary's wording?
No, toward,
his
to
wording.
Brad's on the screening of the screening. So that to me's, I don't have a problem with that.
I mean, my question on the barbed wire, do we have the authority to remove the condition? Or even if we remove the condition, do they still have to go to the BZA? So that, they would still have to go regardless.
Our advice is the BZA
Yeah.
for a fence deviation.
So it sounds like we're amending that condition to state that approve with the condition that they receive approval at BZA for the barbed wire. Unless it's just a misinterpretation of the code. I don't.
I guess that's my question is the intent of no barbed wire to mean a no barbed wire fence as you would traditionally think of a barbed wire cattle fence?
Yeah.
Or is it to exclude a chain link fence with a barbed wire security feature on top? You know, I would imagine the intent was to exclude a traditional barbed wire fence that you would see on a farm or something in lieu of a chain link.
What was that other, what'd you say, consternation?
It's what you see around a prison that's razor blades.
Huh?
It's what you see around a prison or something where it's actually razor blades on
Oh,
the
like razor wire?
razor wire.
That would call razor wire, oh, okay, thank you.
A little more aggressive than,
I needed to learn this.
a little more aggressive.
Not
than
a
the barbed
term I've been exposed to. So.
So,
I mean, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead, CJ.
I was just going to say, I feel like if you amended the condition to state that they went back to the BZA and they were to get on the BZA in August, it wouldn't necessarily slow them down any. They would still have conditions of approval they would have to address over the next couple of weeks. And I don't see that being an issue.
well,
I would just add, I think from their timeline, they would want to get an approved plan and understand that what they're going for, you know?
Yeah.
Rather than having to put everything based off of the BZA votes.
Yeah.
I guess just, if there's any clarification, like you guys had mentioned about, is it a barbed wire fence or is it a chain link fence with barbed wire type? I guess I'll leave that up to you all, but.
Mr. Brewer.
Well, I can understand why they want the security and why they want the barbed wire. I'm a little uncomfortable with us removing that condition, because then that becomes a precedent that anybody that wants to do that can point to this exhibit. But I'm totally comfortable with the BZA removing it, because that's what they do. But I will say that even if the BZA doesn't remove it, there's, in this age of technology, there's plenty of alternate security. I mean, there's laser connector points. I visited a site facility recently that didn't have barbed wire, but they had security on the top with, you know what I'm talking about, with the laser beams and the receptors. I'd be in favor of sending it to the BZA with some kind of wording that encourages them to remove that. But I wouldn't be comfortable removing it here.
Anyone else have any questions or comments?
I mean, as far as everything else on the plan, I think it looks great. I don't have any issues with anything else.
All right, I'm going to make a stab at a motion.
What?
So I'm going to make a stab at a motion. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to say it. Excuse me. I'll make a motion that we approve accepting the applicant's suggested language for condition 4. Marion, did you get that? Okay. Thank you, 'cause I liked it, but I'm not going to restate it and get it accurate, so I'll do that. And then as far as condition 3, you know, I think the way I would word that is that, you know, maybe we're removing condition 3, but replacing it with, if the applicant is to go to BZA to request a variance for the barbed wire on top of the security fence, it's strongly encouraged by the Planning Commission that it be improved.
I'll second that, only because I couldn't word it any better.
Yeah. So I think that sends it to the BZA with a clear indication of what this body would want to see happen without setting a precedent for everybody.
And just for the planning staff to be aware that this body was just worried about creating an open door for everybody that wanted it. So.
Yeah. I think that accomplishes what we need for this project to keep it moving forward and provide that clarity to BZA. So that's how I would word that motion.
Okay.
But it needs a second.
I second it.
Oh, never mind. John already seconded.
Now needs a vote.
I was too busy thinking about motions and how to put them. Okay, any other feedback or questions? All right, with that, I'll call for it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Item 10 is Resolution 2025-092, Southwater Manor Addition, a site plan.
Yes, the owner applicant requests a site plan for Southwater Manor Addition. It's located in the corner of Southwater Avenue and Factory Street. Approximately 2.18 acres, and it's Zone CS, Commercial Services. The owner applicant is proposing two 2,256 square foot buildings. This is a 2-story stacked shipping containers, be multi-tenant residential retail sales and office space. They have added additional parking up close to the Southwater, and they have the addition from the back. So they have ample parking space, 50 parking spaces. They have their landscaping that is separating them. We did ask them to put landscaping around the dumpster, and that would be one that we talked about. Their applicant is requesting an alternative architectural plan for this. This will be painted metal shipping containers, and they're asking approximately 22 units that will be in there. So staff recommends the resolution 2025-02 with the 18 conditions. There are some minor corrections, but no issues.
Thank you. And do we have a representative for the applicant with us this evening?
For Ferguson Greenland Design, we agreed to all staff comments, here to answer any questions.
I'm just curious, I wasn't here for the work session, but was there much conversation about the use of the shipping containers and, the look of it?
I mean, we discussed material, but there wasn't any crazy conversation about, there wasn't any negative conversation
Okay.
centered around the architectural use.
Well, I was going to say, I've seen some of these buildings. I've actually been looking at some projects with not the same concept, but using shipping containers to build some
Yeah.
storage facilities. And it's really a neat concept. So, and I've been to visit some, and where it's been done right, it looks really sharp. So, that's only my comment on it. That I probably would have made if I'd been here for the work session. So, but that's good. Any other comments or questions?
I'll make a motion to approve with all staff comments.
Got a motion, CJ, a second by Steve. Yeah, I'm kind of excited to see this get built. I think this will be kind of neat. So, all those in favor of approval say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. All right, it is approved. Thank you, gentlemen. Item 11, Resolution 2025-080, Kirkpatrick Gallatin, Phase 1, Final Master Development Plan.
Yes, this is for Kirkpatrick Gallatin Phase 1. This is the final master development plan for the recently approved amended preliminary master development plan. This is just for Phase 1, which is a little over 42 acres. This is the north portion of the development that will connect into Ferguson Boulevard and into Woods Ferry. The overall layout, streets, number of units is all consistent with the PMDP. This area does include a number of amenities, including walking trails and open space. There is a lot saved for the future amenity center. It's hatched out on your screen. That will require its own FMDP when they are ready to do that, but that lot is reserved for that, which also has additional parking. Overall, the plan includes the adequate buffer yards, including the preservation of tree canopy as was required, and they did provide us updated architecture, which is consistent with what has been approved with the PMDP with the mix of materials and the brickstone requirement for at least the bottom 3 feet of each home, but they did give us updated elevations that have been improved since the PMDP. Staff does recommend approval of Resolution 2025-080 with 8 conditions. Thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Do we have a representative for the applicant with us?
Keegan McCormick with Kinley Horn on behalf of Amber Lane Development. We agree with all staff comments. Just here to answer any questions you may have.
It sounds like this is very consistent with the PMDP, no significant changes, just the minor normal cleanup stuff.
Correct. Yeah, we actually updated the smaller lots from 42 to 43 feet, so.
Okay. Always make them bigger, it's easy.
Oh, yeah, accommodate for the brick, right? So.
Yeah, that's right.
I always learn.
Okay. Well, this is good to see. This also gets that first section of Ferguson Boulevard constructed that ultimately makes that connection all the way down to Peach Valley, so.
I agree.
Any comments or the questions for the applicant or staff?
I have a question for staff.
Yeah,
And
by all
it's
means.
really to inform me. What are the townhomes immediately to the north of this that are under construction, the road that connects over to Nichols Lane? Can't remember the name of them, but there was a lot of discussion about the last 20 or 30 feet and who was responsible for building that. Did we get that straightened out? They're building that. Is this developer building that connection?
I think the Nichols Place Phase 4, they redid their survey and included that extra portion of Ferguson Boulevard.
Had like a surety to make sure that gets connected? Okay.
Yeah, when it comes through for construction, yeah, we'll have a surety for that.
That's all I needed to know. Just want to see this road connected.
John's been talking about this road for years and making sure it shows up, so glad to see it finally getting.
Yeah.
Make a motion, we accept staff's conditions.
A motion for approval with staff's 8 conditions.
I'll second.
Got a second, Mr. Thompson. Any other further questions, debate? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor of approval, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. All right, passes. Thank you. All right, item 12 is Resolution 2025-088, 206 and 210 Ross Avenue, HPR Final Master Development Plan.
The owner and applicant requests approval of a final master development plan for 4 single-family detached residential units with a horizontal property regime on 2 lots totaling 0.48 acres, zoned as R6, high-density residential, located north of Ross Avenue and west of Northwater Avenue. Many of you may recognize this project. There was one similar back in March of this year where there were 2 residential units built onto a single R6 lot. That was this one over here. The developer is basically doing the same thing with the current lot and the neighboring one next to it. The applicant is going to be requesting a alternate architecture plan consistent to what was already previously approved with the previous plan. There was some comments about the sidewalk on the front end. That seems to have been straightened out. And the architecture is not completely up to the 70% brick stone requirement, but seems to match the character of the neighborhood and other houses surrounding it. With that being said, staff recommends approval of Resolution 2025-088 with 11 conditions, and the applicant is present.
All right, thank you, Charlie. Do you have the applicant or representative for the applicant?
Bruce Rainey, representing Mr. Barnes. I don't really have anything to add. We've hammered out everything on there and agreed to their comments.
Okay, and just, I mean, I think we've seen a couple of these already on this street, so this is very similar to what's already been done, just a couple lots up. And
Yes, sir.
I read through staff's comments or conditions of approval. I don't see any real concerns. Anybody have any questions for Mr. Rainey? Staff? All right, well, I'll make a motion to approve with staff's 11 conditions of approval.
Second.
Second by CJ. Any further debate, questions? Okay, all those in favor of approval say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. All right, I'll pass unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Rainey. Item 13, Resolution 2025-090, Mount Calvary Baptist Church Addition, Final Master Development Plan.
Yes, the owner applicant is requesting a final master plan development for Mount Calvary Baptist Church. It's located on the corner of Brown Place and North Boyer Avenue. It's approximately 0.353 acres and it's zone MRO, multi-residential and office district. They are proposing 1,224 square foot addition to the church, and it will be in the rear. That will give this a total of 4,432 square foot for the entire building. The addition will match the existing vinyl siding materials, which is allowed if it's less than 50% of the existing. There are minor corrections, but staff recommends approval for the resolution 2025-090 with the 9 conditions.
Thank you, ma'am. Do you have a representative for the applicant?
Drew Ferguson, Greenland Design. We agreed all staff comments, just here to answer any questions.
Yeah, I mean, reading through the staff's conditions, they were all very minor and routine conditions. So, anybody have any questions, concerns about it? It seems straightforward. Seems straightforward, makes a lot of sense to me.
I'll make a motion that we approve with staff's 9 conditions.
I'll second.
Okay, we've got a motion by Mr. Pereira, second by Mr. Thompson, to approve with staff's 9 conditions of approval. Any further questions or debate? Call for the vote. All those in favor of approval say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. All right, it is approved. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And that brings us to the end of tonight's agenda. The staff has anything under other business for announcements or announcements?
I do not have anything.
I just wanted to make sure you had a chance to talk tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing from me.
All right. I don't have anything else to add. With that, I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.